Okay, since I have the back of the vehicle all done, the rear end, suspension, brakes, all that stuff, I think it's time to start concentrating on the front, get that suspension in, the steering, the brakes, and all that stuff. So all the components have got to be torn down, cleaned, rebuilt, painted, whatever. So I've already done the passenger side spindle. I've got that completely disassembled. Everything's painted, cleaned up, sitting over there waiting to be assembled. But I thought I'd show you how we take these apart. Say we, you guys, me, you're part of the team. So start getting this apart. First, you're going to take off the dust cover. It shouldn't be too hard to get off there. You got a bigger screwdriver. Cover off. We want to get that cotter pin out of there. And I don't reuse my cotter pins. I mean, you could, but I don't. Pull that cotter pin out. I'm just going to throw it away. And because I don't know the technical name for this, this is just a little retaining nut. It goes around the nut to hold it. So when you put your cotter pin in there, it won't turn. And we're going to take the nut off. That's all. Now I'm going to give this a pull, and it'll pull out the washer and the bearing. We're going to take the washer and bearing out. Now this rotor will pull right off here. Take it out. Now we're down to the dust shield. There is a retaining ring on it. Remove the retaining ring. And your dust shield will come off here. Should. There is the seal behind it, so it may be hanging on a little bit. Here we go. You see a little seal right there? It's a cork gasket. Okay, now you're down to the spindle and the caliper bracket. What I'm going to do is turn it over. There's supposed to be a clip here. Hold your brake pad in. Obviously it's missing. but I bought a new hardware kit, so it comes with it. So what I'm going to do is take this one off. Okay, now this one, supposed to be two of them. They hold a guard on here. The guard's missing, obviously, but it came with the hardware kit. This is usually rusted and a pain in the butt. So what I use is a, what do you want to call them? Bolt extractor. That's what they look like for stripped out bolt heads and stuff. It's just easier for me to use one of these. Yeah, it's pretty stripped. Okay, this one ain't got enough ass, so let's go get air. Tell you, these little things have saved me so many times. Alright, the caliper bracket's held on by 2 bolts. See them here? That one, pretty long bolt. You notice it has holes going through the head. That's so you can put wire through it, and the wire attaches to the spindle so the bolt won't turn out. That's the way the factory did it. But okay, take the other one out. Same way. Now take your caliper bracket off and just leave you the spindle. Now this caliper bracket has 2 black rubber grommets in it. That's for your bolts, for your brakes, or your caliper. The hardware kit came with new ones, so I'll be pulling these out. Pull them out. That one. So we have everything torn down. Now it's just a matter of cleaning everything up and getting it painted and getting it back together. So that's how you tear one of these down. I'm going to redo my power steering. This is a lot of parts in that valve, but hopefully I can get it all back together. Over here's all the old pieces and parts, torn apart, blown apart, thrown away basically. But I'm going to try to put this all back together. I say try, but I know I will. I know how it came apart, so I should be able to put it back together. One other thing I wanted to show you, since I'm working on all of this, I've already rebuilt my cylinder, and I have other parts here still for the rebuilt kits. This is pretty rough. I don't know if they're going to be able to turn this. I hope they can. I'll take it in and find out, but see, I've been working on the parts. Over here, the suspension, hardware, brake parts, steering parts, shocks. Been really busy. I've been disassembling, cleaning, painting, and time for reassembly, basically. Okay, there it is, rebuilt. I'm going to put these two pieces back together, but that was not as difficult as I thought it was going to be. Just a little time consuming, taking my time, make sure I put it together right and everything. Means I can throw that hunk of trash away, which is awesome. There is a pin in these that has to go back in, and there's the little pin. So I need to put this back together, so many turns back on, and put the pin back in. So I'll get that done here real quick and move on from there. Okay, now that I've finished up the power steering valve and the cylinder, I'm going to start on this steering box. See, there's a tag on it. A lot of nice rusty, crusty stuff. But, yep, I think we'll see what we can do with this. So, this is my next project. Well, there you go. Done. Hey, she looked nasty inside. Those needle bearings are pretty dry. It really needed a lot of grease inside. I think I used almost a whole can of grease. But, yep, that's done. Now I'm ready to move on to something else. Hey, as you can see, I'm getting things ready to put the front end back together on this car. But what I've been doing is I've been waiting on the right spring compressor for this car. When I say right one, I mean the right one. I'm going to show you some different spring compressors. Mostly because I purchased these over the past 35 years of doing cars. And it's no secret, I'm a big GM fan. Olds, Buick, Pontiac, I'm the guy, man. But doing a Ford, totally different. So I'm learning as I'm going, obviously. But let's go over some spring compressors that I've tried to use to put the springs back in this Mustang and have been huge fails for me. Like I say, I'm GM, so most of these are for GM. But the first one, let me show this one to you. Are these. Now, I don't trust these things whatsoever. I haven't since day one. These are probably the first spring compressors I've ever bought, this style. These, to me, are for the rear of GM coil springs. You know, not a whole lot of pressure, not a lot of spring weight. You can pull them together pretty easily. That's what I'd use these on, and the only thing I would use these on. These are totally unsafe to me. These are a disaster waiting to happen. Okay, the next type are these. Now these are really, really nice. They work really well. Way above that first set I just showed you. These are great. I would use these for GMs, no problem. They work. Okay. Fords, these don't work, not on a Mustang. Okay, the next ones, these. Now, I've used these to replace strut springs. I've used these in my Trailblazer, I've used these on Equinoxes, different variety. These had the little safety pin that I would recommend you use, even though putting springs under pressure is just scary, scary stuff. Show you another kind. This one. This is my favorite. I use this to take the springs out of the Mustang. But to try to put them back into the Mustang, that's a fail. They don't work. They bottom out on the perches. They won't work. Fantastic for the other type of springs though. All right, the next one might be a little only for you Corvette people, but I've used it on Chevelle. This one. This one has a little pivot on the bottom, so this rod can pivot. I ruined the threads on this one. This is an expensive one, and I destroyed it. Trying to use it to put springs in a Firebird. But this is made for a Corvette. All right, now let's take a look at the Mustang one. This is the Mustang one. This is for you Fords. Fantastic tool from what I've seen. I haven't used it yet, but I'm going to today. Very, very huge. The nut is a 1 1/4 nut. Big, big nut. Has a bearing. Supposed to mount in your shock tower and down to your shock perch, and down to your spring perch. This is an expensive tool also. I reluctantly bought this. I say reluctantly because there's others out there, probably about 1/3 of the cost of this one. But this one, like I say, this is a 1 1/4 inch nut. This is made in the USA. This is quality, people. Expensive quality, but quality. I tried to get by with buying a cheap China-made one. Yeah, I hate to say that. I didn't know it was China-made when I bought it. It was supposedly coming out of New Jersey. I purchased it, and this is it. Look at this. This has a round tube. This one, the threads are already marred up. And the seller, when I told him I didn't want this tool, told me, well, the paint off the threads don't hurt it. And I said, it's not the paint off the threads. The nut will not travel up and down this threaded shaft smoothly. It gets caught. And this nut is a 1 1/8 nut, which compared to the other one, yeah, it's a monster. USA. This one, I can take the nut and wobble it. See that? That's not a safe tool to me, to be compressing a coil spring with that much pressure on it. That's really going to hurt me or going to damage my property. One other thing. Down here where it's welded, look at that. That is boogered welds. That is a piece of crap. That's not welded worth a crap, man. Square tubing, the welds again, rough, just splattered. This is China, not worth the money. USA, look how the welds are. Smooth, perfect. Down here, perfect. This is a quality tool. Like I say, it's 3 times the money of China, but I don't trust this tool. I would not use this tool, and I'm not going to use this tool. I contacted the seller of this tool and wanted a refund and to return this product. And It took several emails going back and forth, but he was trying to tell me this tool is just fine to use, it's safe. And basically I told him I'm the customer, I'm not going to accept it, I want my money back. Well, I ended up getting a refund. It took a little while, but I did get a refund on this. And this is going to go in the trash. I asked for a return label, and evidently he doesn't want to send it back to China. When I got it, it said made in China on the package, which I had no clue it was. Like I said, I thought it was coming out of New Jersey. I thought it was American made. My bad. I'm going to put some springs in using the proper one. We'll see how that goes. Hey, I hope you found this video enlightening on how to disassemble the front spindles. Totally disassemble it. It's mostly common sense. Most people know how to do it. I learned from taking the other one apart first. Now I knew how to take that one apart. On the coil spring compressors, like I said, that's how many I have. There are a lot more out there, bunches and bunches of different ones. But that Ford one from the USA, I'm looking forward to using that. I'm pretty sure it's going to make my life a lot simpler than putting the whole front end together with a Mustang. So my next video after this one will be me assembling all the front end, or at least trying to, and see where I get to. It'd be great to get my table back there cleared off and the front of the other Mustang cleared off of all the parts that I got scattered all over, painted, cleaned, replaced, get them all in front of the car. I'd kind of like to get some weight on the front of the car anyway and get all that back on there. On the lift, you know, I got it up there and got the rear end in it, and there's a lot of weight on the back of the car, but no weight on the front yet. But hey, thanks for watching my video. Later.